Hey there, great to hear from you. How can I help today?
Today, the topic I'm going to discuss with you is the art of storytelling, how to captivate and inspire others. I am repeating my topic, the art of storytelling, how to captivate and inspire others. Can you please elaborate this topic in detail so I can understand the terms because I am learning this term first time?
Absolutely. The art of storytelling is all about crafting and sharing narratives that engage with your audience. It's a powerful way to connect, inspire, and leave a lasting impression. Key elements of storytelling: one, structure. Most compelling stories have a clear beginning, middle, and end. The beginning sets the scene, the middle introduces conflict or challenges, and the end brings resolution and insight. Characters, strong, relatable characters are at the heart of any good story. Characters should have depth, motivations, and growth, making it easier the audience to connect with them emotionally. Three, conflict. Conflict is what drives the story forward. It can be internal within a character or external between characters or with the environment. Conflict creates tension and keeps the audience engaged. For emotion, emotion is key to captivating stories that evoke feelings, whether joy, sadness, fear, or inspiration, resonate more deeply. Five, imagery and language. Vivid imagery and descriptive language bring the story to life. Using sensory details helps the audience visualize and feel the narrative. Six, authenticity. Authentic stories drawn from personal experiences or genuine insights tend to be more relatable and impactful. How to captivate and inspire: one, know your audience. Tailor your story to resonate with your audience's interests, values, and experiences. Understanding who they are helps you connect more deeply. Two, the hook. Grab attention from the very beginning with an intriguing opening. This could be a question, a surprising factor, a compelling image. Three, use relatable themes. Themes that reflect universal experiences like overcoming adversity, pursuing dreams, or building relationships tend to resonate deeply. Four, engage the senses. Use descriptive language that appeals to the senses: sight, sound, touch, taste, and smell to make the story more immersive. Five, inspire action. End your story with a powerful message or a call to action. Encourage your audience to reflect, change, or engage in some meaningful way. Storytelling is both an art and a skill that can be honed over time. If you have specific questions or want to explore certain aspects further, just let me know.
Okay. What makes storytelling such a powerful form of communication? Can you please elaborate?
Absolutely. Storytelling is powerful for several reasons. One, emotional connection. Stories tap into emotions in a way that pure data or facts often can't. When we hear a story, we empathize with the characters and situations, creating a deep emotional bond. Two, memory retention. Humans are naturally wired to remember stories better than isolated facts. A well told story is more likely to stick in our minds, making the message more memorable. Three, engagement. Stories capture attention. They pull listeners in, keeping them engaged longer than straightforward presentations or lectures. Four, relatability. Stories often reflect universal themes and experiences, making them relatable across cultures and backgrounds. This relatability fosters connection and understanding. Five, persuasion. Stories can be incredibly persuasive. They can shift perspectives, inspire action, and influence opinion, presenting ideas in a compelling narrative form. Six, cultural transmission. Storytelling is a fundamental way of passing down knowledge, traditions, and values across generations. It keeps cultures alive and helps people understand their heritage. Seven, complex ideas made simple can distill complex concepts into relatable and understandable narratives, making it easier for people to grasp and internalize information. In essence, storytelling is a bridge between the speaker and the audience, creating shared experiences and deeper understanding.
Okay. The next question I have to ask is why do humans naturally connect with stories more than facts? Can you please elaborate in detail?
Definitely. Humans have a natural inclination towards stories for a few key reasons. One, evolutionary perspective. From an evolutionary standpoint, stories were a fundamental way for our ancestors to share knowledge, survival strategies, and cultural values. Stories made it easier to remember important information and pass it down through generations. Two, emotional engagement. Stories engage our emotions, making the information more relatable and impactful. When we connect emotionally, we're more likely to pay attention, understand, and remember the message. Three, cognitive processing. Our brains are wired to process information in a narrative form. Stories provide context, structure, and meaning, making complex information easier to understand and relate to. Four, social bonding. Sharing stories is a social activity that builds connections. It helps create empathy and understanding among people, fostering a sense of community and shared experience. Engagement and attention. Stories naturally capture our attention. They have a beginning, middle, and end, which keeps us engaged and curious about what happens next. This narrative structure is more captivating than a simple list of facts. Six, meaning and identity. Stories help us make sense of the world and our place in it. They shape our identity, beliefs, and values, allowing us to understand ourselves and others better. In essence, stories are a fundamental part of human nature. They go beyond mere information, creating emotional, cognitive, and social connections that facts alone can't achieve.
Okay, the next question I want to ask you, what are the essential components of a compelling story? Can you please elaborate in detail, give some case studies, some practical example and examples, elaborate in detail.
Absolutely. So, a compelling story typically includes several essential components. Strong characters. Characters are the heart of any story. They should be well developed with distinct personalities, motivations, and flaws. This helps the audience relate to them and become invested in their journey. For example, in the novel To Kill a Mockingbird, Scout and Finch are deeply relatable characters whose complexities drive the narrative. Two, engaging plot. A compelling plot has a clear structure with a beginning, middle, and end. It includes an inciting incident that sets the story in motion, rising action that builds tension, a climax where the main conflict reaches its peak, and a resolution that ties up loose ends. For instance, in The Lord of the Rings, the plot is carefully crafted, taking the characters through a journey filled with conflict and growth. Three, conflict is essential to drive the narrative forward. It can be internal within a character or external between characters or with the environment. This tension keeps the audience invested. For example, in Harry Potter, the conflict between Harry and Voldemort is both external and internal, shaping the entire narrative. For setting, the setting provides context and atmosphere. It helps ground the story in a particular time and place, adding depth to the narrative. For instance, in The Great Gatsby, the setting of the Roaring Twenties and the contrasting environments of East Egg and West Egg play a crucial role in the story. Five, theme. The theme is the underlying message or central idea of the story. It gives the narrative depth and resonance. For example, The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho explores themes of destiny, personal, and the journey of self-discovery. Six, pacing. The pacing story refers to the speed at which the narrative unfolds. Pacing keeps the audience engaged and ensures that the story doesn't feel dragged out. For instance, in The Da Vinci Code, the fast-paced chapters keep readers hooked from start to finish. Seven, dialogue. Authentic and purposeful dialogue adds realism and helps reveal character traits. It can also advance the plot and create tension. For example, in Pride and Prejudice, the witty banter between Elizabeth Bennet and Mr. Darcy is central to the story. Case studies and practical. The Lion King film, this classic animated film, showcases all these elements. Simba, the main character, undergoes growth and conflict. The setting of the African savannah is vivid and immersive, and the theme of overcoming adversity is central. Breaking Bad TV series that shows a great example of complex character development.
Thank you so very much, ChatGPT. It was a very useful and fruitful conversation from your side. I have learned a lot on this topic. Thank you so very much. For now, goodbye. See you in next topic. Till then, goodbye.
You're very welcome. I'm so glad you found it helpful. It was a pleasure chatting with you, and I look forward to our next conversation. Until then, take care